A bit of a quandary. So this is the Anker battery pack that I took apart a couple months ago, and you might be saying to yourself, oh no, another video with this battery pack? When is this going to ever end? Apparently it has, because the battery doesn't work anymore. All the batteries that I show in the summer or spring or fall, whenever there's enough sun, get charged by this solar panel box thing that I'll be getting to in a future video that I made last year and worked out really well, made some upgrades on it, and we'll be doing a video or a video series on it. This seemed to be the one battery that least liked the solar panel charging, and it would charge only at 2.5 watts. So it would take quite a while for a 100 watt hour battery to charge up. And sometimes it would say it was fully charged, and then I would plug it into a computer and it would discharge like down 2 dots in like 10 minutes, and then plug it in with a PowerCore Speed PD30, so this 30 watt USB-C charger, and it would charge back up again. And it seemed like it would do some kind of balancing, or like it would recalibrate to kind of get an idea of what the capacity was, and then it would be fine. But it didn't ever refuse to work. And so what I've experienced is it charged all the way up. It showed all 10 dots, and it then refused to charge anything via USB-C, and also refused to be charged by USB-C. That's a bummer. The USB-A ports worked just fine to discharge it all the way down to a safe level so I could open it up again. Batteries obviously are fine because it held a charge, discharged fine, and then the battery went dead. Yeah. It just seemed like it didn't want to take a charge anymore. So what I thought I would do, just remove the battery negative. This is a beautiful example of the thing I was just talking about. Maybe it's the video before this one, when I fixed that light, and what Anker did that is much better than, oh, you can't see the other one. You can't see the positive because it goes through. But here is a beautiful example. There's a through hole. It's plated through hole. The wire goes through the board. Where is it soldered? On the back side of the board. There. So that even if this solder joint were to come loose, it was a cold joint and it's bonded to the wire but not to the plated through hole, this wire would not come loose. And the battery plus also is like that. The battery, I don't know why the balancing wire, they opted, and they sorted it. They got 2 out of 3. I'll give them that. Anyways, what I want to do is I want to remove this battery negative because I can't get to the battery positive, because it's to just reset the thing, because it still has power. Get the soldering iron going, and we'll remove those. We'll just basically reset it, because if you recall from that video I did, there were 2 chips that I identified, and one was an ARM Cortex, I think it's an M0, and I don't know what firmware is running on there. Oh, interesting. Why is it doing that? Huh? That is a different blink pattern than I've seen before. Usually it goes on, off, on, off, on, off. Like it's low, but not a slow blink like that. First things first, I will get this is an Anker USB to USB-C charge cable with only a few chew marks from my dog. And, but it works. It's a known good cable. And then we're using the known good PD30, whatever. Plugging that in, blue light came on. Let's see what we get. Yeah, see, nothing. It's not doing anything. Every so often, if you just sit, I don't know, if we just sit and twiddle our thumbs for a minute, it'll just decide, okay, I'm going to start charging. But I don't think that's going to happen in this case. Something got unhappy. It's not starting a charge. So let's unplug it. Let's check first to see that the cells are in balance. They're discharged, but they are wacky out of balance, and it's just refusing to charge it based on that. But that also wouldn't explain why it would refuse to discharge to a USB-C device. And that's what makes me think that the little chip in there that's doing the ARM Cortex-y that's in there got a little unhappy. And it just needs to be reset. On this side, I'm going to there's a battery tab right there running across here, because we have 4 series and then 2 in parallel. So we should get 6.4, so 3.2 volts per cell. That's kind of high, actually. A little surprised that it's showing that it's dead already. And this is showing 3.213, 3.210, so 3 millivolt difference. So it's not like it's out of balance. No, it's not out of balance. So the batteries are fine. Yeah, let's just disconnect the battery negative and the battery, these two, just to disconnect the whole thing out of circuit. We'll reconnect them, heat it up. I'm gonna turn this around. Let's take that off. Interesting. It seems like the little controller is just unhappy. It's not controlling battery charging. It's only controlling the USB-C power direction and all that stuff. Ooh, this is a lot of solder. Pull this out. Pull the strand tape back a little bit. There we go. Just don't like being so close to the batteries. Gonna be difficult to do. Maybe I can just solder suck all this out. Might be a little too much for the solder suck, but we'll give it a shot. 700 degrees. Not a big fan of going high temperature. But it might be all aluminum solder. It might need a little bit more convincing. There it goes. Now it's, yeah. That was a good chunk of it that came off. I might need to hit it with some more solder. Just capturing the battery protection wire down in the strand tape there so it doesn't bounce around and touch anything, even though pretty much the entire battery is covered. And it could reach the negative, but anyways, just trying to minimize stuff flopping about. Okay, here we go. Gonna try to pull on this wire. So we have the whole thing disconnected. The pack is now completely not powered. I'm wondering if I were to plug it in, if it were to complain to me and tell me there's some kind of fault. Because it would get power from an external source, but not be able to charge the battery in any way, because it all it has is the positive leg of the battery. So I'm going to plug it in and see if we get any sort of reaction from the system. It is. Yes. So it's stopped charging. Cool. So that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. Well, let's see what happens here. Let me resolder it back together. There we go. Just give it a little bit of solder initially. We're not getting anything. Okay, it's fine. It might just be because it's dead, disconnected, and needs to be initialized. So let's see what that looks like. Hey, back in business. And that's strange. It looks like it thinks it's 40% charged. Maybe it's just where it goes initially. I don't know. But I want to check current flow to make sure it's within reason, what we'd expect. Oh, AC. That's AC. Let's go to DC higher than that. Again, let's go back to DC and let's zero it. 3.31 amps at about 7 volts, so about 21 watts. That's across 4 batteries because it's Kirchhoff's current law, KCL. So we have 3.31 divided by 4 because there's one node down here, one node. So it's 1 going into 4. 3.31 divided by 4 is like 1.25. No, that's less than that. It's like 0.75, 0.8. About 800 milliamps going into each pair of cells. We got it working again. Awesome. It is charging, which is good. But the thing that is going to be the test of all the tests is if it discharges. Okay, so here's the MacBook. There it is. This was showing about 40% charge, which may be a bit overblown because it doesn't know what it is right now. Oh, back to working like it was before. Awesome. So awesome. Let's just check our currents real quick one more time. About 5 amps out. Can you see that? Okay, and now it's blinking that it's dead because it's just lost as far as the charging. I think I'm going to just let it sit out like this. I'm going to fix that solder connection up and then let it charge. And it's doing this, which is good. It's just blinking like it usually does to show like, hey, the battery's dead. And it would blink like that for a while and then stop. Cool. Let's just tidy this up a little bit. This is probably going to be a little bit warm. It's pushing 5 amps through a dodgy solder joint. So get that nice and flooded in there, and then flood some more juicy solder onto there. And I'm going to just, because I want to, put a little bit of solder on the bottom here. So that the battery protection lead has something to hold it on the other side, even though it's not really how it's being held in there. Doesn't matter. Let's get some Gorilla Tape on there. I'm just going to do a few smaller sections because this tape is thicker and I don't want to be insulating the batteries too much. So I'll do one there, and then we'll do one there. I'll trim that thread off. Put a piece there. Why did I put this in here? Because we don't want these wires moving around. If they were to come loose, you want them to stay put. It's just helpful. They mostly did it for manufacturing, but I prefer to put things back the way that I found them, or better. So this Gorilla Tape. If you have strand tape, you can use that as well. But there you go. If you have one of these battery packs and it stops working and you feel like taking it apart, follow the previous video where I actually did more details of like taking it apart and what I did. But it seems like what's needed is just a reset. I'm pretty confident that the reason why it needed a reset was because I have been charging it via solar. After 2 years of being charged that way, primarily, it got a little unhappy with where its charge state was or something. This is the positive tab. I'm just going to apply a little bit of Gorilla Tape around that positive tab, just to hold all that together. So there you go. The whole thing's back together again, ready to be reassembled. I'll charge it up, not off the solar panel, just off a regular 30-watt charger, let it go all the way to full charge, and then discharge it all the way back down again, see how things go. If you experience this pack just not working anymore, or primarily that the USB 3.0 ports work, but the USB-C charging in or discharging out stops working, and the battery indicator wasn't flashing like that, it wasn't that higher frequency flashing pattern, it was like half the rate of this, which seemed to indicate that something was wonky with the controller. And like I said, that 32-bit microcontroller that's sitting on there is probably what's controlling all the LEDs and all of the I/O stuff, the input-output of buttons and LEDs, and negotiating with the USB-C specification for bidirectional control of discharging and charging. But the actual charging of the batteries and watching the charging and discharging thresholds and all of that other stuff, that's done by another chip, a separate chip that I had pointed out. If you don't feel like taking it apart, I guess what you could do is discharge it all the way down and just let it sit for like, I don't know, probably a month. And then eventually you could try to recharge it and it might just take a charge again. It may take longer than a month. It may be just worth opening it up and just disconnecting these two leads, Hope you liked this video. Hope it was helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.